I don't have you, I don't have you. No dream can bust this feeling to a million pieces. No, I don't have you, I don't have you. No matter what you say, no matter what I do, I see the street light shine down Avenue. Don't the shadows there move through my heart? All the people clash, walking by me now. You're not with me here, 'cause we're apart. I don't have you, I don't have you. No dream can bust this feeling to a million pieces. No, I don't have you, I don't have you. No matter what you say, no matter what I do. Bum bum bum, 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 bum ba da ba da ba da, bum bum bum, 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 bum bum bum. I can't change your mind if you wanna go, just like I can't change the way that my feelings show. I can pull on you and block your run, but I must hold my pride close, telling everyone I don't have you, I don't have you. No dream can bust this feeling to a million pieces. No, Wednesday, Thursday too, with tears in front of you. You're not with me here, 'cause we're apart. You're not with me here, 'cause we're apart. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And welcome, everyone, to an evening of music. We have George Connor here and Mary Nakamura, AKA the Asian Pair. My name is Danny Lee, and I am the Lifelong Learning and Wellness Program Coordinator here at ACC. And before we get started, I would like to draw your attention to the upcoming workshops and classes we have here at ACC. And I don't know if you guys can believe it, but in the last 12 months alone, we have live streamed over 450 classes, workshops, and concerts. I couldn't believe it when I heard that. And on that note, we would like to thank our sponsors. We have Bruce Yoshida of Baird, Dr. Leland Lee, and Sierra Sacramento Valley Medical Society Alliance, who gave us an $8,600 grant, which is amazing. And if you would like to become a sponsor here and support ACC programs, then please contact Jerry Shikuma, who is our home and community-based program administrator, and become a sponsor for ACC. So I wanted to start off the evening by just welcoming George and Mary, and obviously ACC loves you guys. You guys are back here. But George, for the people that are seeing you for the first time here, do you think that you could tell us a little bit about your background and the history behind some of your performances here?
Yeah, thanks, Danny. I've been involved with ACC for certainly over 10 years. Recently dug up an old DVD of an open house that involved Glenn Watanabe, who is the pretty much the godfather of the music scene here at ACC. And he invited me and my good friend Chris Tomine, and we'll be discussing him a little bit later in the program. We sadly lost him a little bit earlier this year. But so we were recruited by Glenn to do this open house performance, and then started performing both as a guitar club, just getting together to jam here at ACC, and then later that morphed into what is known as the ACC Guitar Ensemble. Later on, Mary, Josie, and Jane joined us as female singers and performers, and so that rounded out our sound. And So we've been performing at the local facilities like the Care Center and Greenhaven Terrace, and we have a good time doing that. So it's mostly acoustic folk-based stuff, but we enjoy doing it. Mary and I do this little act as a duet, an acoustic duet. We call ourselves Asian Pair. We've been performing for quite a few years now, and before the pandemic, we did quarterly shows here at ACC, and we would put out a tip jar and get a little bit of money to donate to ACC. So the tradition continues. So we're happy to be involved. And as far as being loved by ACC, that's somewhat subjective. But thank you for that anyway.
Well, we are so happy to have you guys.
Thank you.
And then, Mary, do you think you could tell us a little bit about what it means to you to be performing for our ACC community and what that means to you?
Sure. Thank you, Danny. So I found that I just really love creating music and love creating music with George and with the other members. Glenn's out here in the audience and other members in our guitar ensemble. And what I found was that when we performed for the residents at like the Care Center or Greenhaven Terrace, both ACC programs, it just really brought me a lot of joy to see the smiles on the faces of the seniors there. And so the fact that we were able to do something that we loved, which then brought joy and brought them, remembrances of songs that were important to them.
And that is so great. Thank you so much, Mary. And George, a little birdie told me that you have an original composition you're performing tonight. So do you think you could tell us a little bit about that?
You would have to ask. I think that's probably the only reason my good friend David is here. I baited him in with a talk about performing an original song that I wrote. For me, writing songs is a tortuous process, very frustrating, and we Asians are so self-critical and so lacking in self-confidence that I actually wrote this song back in my mid-20s, which was obviously a long, long time ago. And I performed it on occasion to a very, very small group of close friends, generally around the campfire and stuff like that. Mary is one of the few people who's ever heard this song, so I'm trying to muster up the courage. Well, I will. I've committed to it, so it'll be later on in the program, an original song by myself. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, you have no choice now, unfortunately. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys both for being here this evening. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight, and please enjoy the Asian Pair.
Thanks, Danny.
Thank you. Okay, Mary. So, what's the program?
So one of the things that we talked about earlier in terms of when we perform at the senior residence, we try to select songs that we think that the audience would really find meaningful and enjoyable. And so for tonight, for our Asian Pair concerts that we do here before the pandemic and what we're doing tonight, this is our opportunity to choose songs that are special to us. And so you'll find that with our songs, most of the songs are probably songs you hadn't heard of before, or maybe you've heard of some, but then we introduce things that probably very few have heard. And so we will be doing that again tonight, and as usual, we'll be sharing some personal reflections and stories, and so you'll get to know a little bit about us throughout the evening.
Oh, yeah. Nice outfit, Mary. You'll probably see that, we don't really, we kind of clash, okay? Being close to Halloween, I was suspecting that Mary might show up in costume, but, I thought you might go full gothic or something on us. And it's a cool look with the big iron cross and the black lipstick. Kind of gives her that Morticia or Lily Munster look. But the reason I'm in this kind of Beach Boys outfit is you'll see later on that there's a photograph taken during that open house back at ACC that I alluded to, and interestingly, this is the very same outfit that I was wearing then, and that was 13 years ago, so it's rather amazing that I can still fit into this stuff. But at any rate, so yeah, without further ado, I tend to get a little long-winded here, but we're going to launch off into one of our singer-songwriter songs here. This is kind of a country rock song called He's Back and I'm Blue. Ready?
Ooh, that old feeling, filling up your dreams again. Ooh, it comes stealing, taking you away. You turn away, you won't look at me. You seem to think that I just can't see. I was hoping he was out of your heart, but he's still calling you. Now he's back and I'm blue. I forgot about yesterday. Those memories seem so far away. All it took was just a whisper to start the flame burning anew. Now he's back and I'm blue. Ooh, that old feeling, filling up your dreams again. Ooh, it comes stealing, taking you away. I guess there's nothing left for me to do. I can't stop him from living in you. 'Cause the past can only pull us apart, still you carry it through. Now he's back and I'm blue. Ooh, that old feeling, filling up your dreams again. Ooh, it comes stealing, taking you away. You turn away, you won't look at me. You seem to think that I just can't see. I was hoping he was out of your heart, but he's still calling you. Now he's back and I'm blue. Now he's back and I'm blue. Now he's back and I'm blue.
Thanks, George. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's such a treat to actually have people here in the audience. We want to thank ACC administration for allowing a small number of vaccinated folks wearing masks to be here.
Socially distanced as well. Yeah.
So thank you very much, ACC.
Okay. So, do you want to just launch off into our next song, Mary? Do you want to introduce it?
I think this was yours to introduce.
Oh. Okay. Like Mary said, you're probably going to hear songs that are unfamiliar to you, and we try to mix it up with some familiar old standards. We're going to be doing Beyond the Sea, the Bobby Darin hit, a little bit later on. But this is a song by a singer-songwriter duet called the Weepies, and this is called Hummingbird. So this is a little bit more contemporary a song, which means that it was written in the last quarter of a century for us, you know. So Hummingbird, okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Always been like a hummingbird, and I can't keep still. Listen up, lover, listen up, I never will. Wings move faster than the human eye. And if you could see my heart, well, if you could see my heart, kept from flying outwards, somehow I don't know. Wonder I don't come apart. Wonder I don't come apart. always been like a hummingbird, and I can't keep still. Listen up, lover, listen up, I never will. Hold out your hand. Yours is the only one that I dare to land upon. Ooh, 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 ooh. Stole a ruby necklace from the chamber of a queen. Distraction for my heart, distraction for my heart. Thrumming like a diver's every time you're near. The only sound I hear, the only sound I hear. Always been like a hummingbird, and I can't keep still. Listen up, lover, listen up, I never will. Sweetness captures honeybees in time. Amber like your eyes, amber like your eyes. Maybe there's a season when I'll taste that wine. A thimble at a time, a thimble full of wine. Always been like a hummingbird, and I can't keep still. Listen up, lover, listen up, I never will. Listen up, lover, listen up. Listen up, lover, listen up. Listen up, lover, listen up, I never will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's one of our more upbeat songs we're going to do tonight.
Yeah. But
So,
even our upbeat songs sometimes have a decidedly dark side, huh? Like I Don't Have You. It's kind of a snappy, upbeat song, but
Oh, yeah.
the theme is totally depressing. And he's back and I'm blue.
Yeah.
The lost lover has come back and now I'm walking out the back door. So, okay.
Who
so-
chose all these songs, George?
Huh?
Who chose all these songs?
Hey. I'll cop to that.
So the next song we're going to do is an old standard called Beyond the Sea. So I mentioned that George and I, and when also with the guitar ensemble, we like to do songs that really have meaning and are memorable to the audience. And so when we're getting ready for a performance at Greenhaven Terrace, we try to make sure that we do songs that they would recall. I was one of the hosts for a Music Maker show, and we talked about the power of music and how for individuals, their teenage years and their 40s, those are the most significant times of their life in terms of music and when it touches them. So when we do our shows, we try to select songs from those era. And I remember in one of the episodes I did, I had a special guest, Randy Chin, was on there, and he said he researches the songs from that generation so that he can do those songs as well. So that just gives us a lot of joy, doing songs that really touches them in their heart. So Beyond the Sea.
Yeah, and you might mention that this is originally a French song called La Mer, the ocean. Always really liked Bobby Darin, and this is kind of like his signature song. So, ready? Mm-hmm. 2.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me,
My lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing somewhere beyond the sea. He's there watching for me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to his arms I'd go sailing. It's far beyond the stars, it's near beyond the moon. I know beyond a doubt my heart will lead me there soon. We'll meet beyond the shore, we'll kiss just as before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing. It's far beyond the stars, it's near beyond the moon. I know beyond a doubt my heart will lead me there soon. We'll meet beyond the shore, we'll kiss just as before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing. No more sailing, so long sailing, bye-bye sailing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this is our mood lighting, the first one.
Mood lighting?
Yeah.
What's that? Okay.
But this is you to describe, right?
I have to do this? Okay, so, you know, we've baited you in with these kind of perky, bumpy, bouncy songs. And so, as typical, if you've been to our concerts before, we're now going to send you down, spiraling down a vortex of angst and despair with our sad songs, or darkly themed songs, anyway. This is a song called Ever Fallen in Love. And I think the original version of this song was a really driving rock song, albeit with a dark theme. But one of my favorite singer-songwriters, a British gal named Thea Gilmore, did a very kind of introspective and pensive, softer version of this song. So this is what we're going to do. Mary does a really beautiful version of this song. So, and it's interesting, the structure of this song. It has some kind of, for you guitarists out there, some odd chord changes. So this is Ever Fallen in Love.
You stirred my natural emotion. You make me feel I'm dirt and I'm hurt. And if I start a commotion, I'll only end up losing you, and that's worse. Ever fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with. I can't see much of the future unless we find out what's to blame. What a shame. And we won't be together much longer unless we realize that we are the same. Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with? Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with? You stirred my natural emotion. You make me feel I'm dirt and I'm hurt. And if I start a commotion, I'll run the risk of losing you, and that's worse. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was Ever Fallen in Love. So the next song I chose, I don't know, George, how we choose these songs, most of them I probably hadn't heard of before, so George has introduced me to a lot of songs over the years. We actually started practicing together probably since 2012 when I joined the guitar ensemble. It was actually, George was supposed to do a performance for a family friend with Chris, and Chris couldn't make it, so I volunteered to work with George, and so I had all these songs I had to learn that I didn't know, and so we found that all that working together, we found that our voices blended pretty nicely sometimes, and so we wanted to try to figure out what was that, what were those arrangements where we could really have the best sound that would be pleasing. So anyways, one of the CDs, so George would make CDs for me, and he'd have different songs, and one of them was had this song, and it's a song in Spanish. It's called Perfidia, but it's an older song, right? I mean, it's well known for a long time. And I guess I wanted to do this song because it was, it seemed like a nice challenge for me. And I studied Spanish actually in high school. I went to school here in McClatchy, and Mr. Hector Gonzalez was my Spanish teacher. And I bring him up because he was watching Yesenia when she was performing at a performance a few years ago, and we ran into each other, and I was really happy to see him again. And then I ran across him again when we were doing an article about Cesar Chavez, and Mr. Gonzalez actually knew him and worked with him and was able to share some stories, personal reflections, and some pictures that I was able to use for our newsletter special on Cesar Chavez. So anyways, I wanted to just let Mr. Gonzalez know that I was thinking of him, and so I'm going to do this song. And also was really inspired by Yesenia when she sang Sabor a Mi at the performance at Greenhaven Terrace. So, Perfidia.
Ready?
Nadie comprende lo que sufro yo. Canto, pues ya no Puedo sollozar solo, temblando de ansiedad estoy. Todos me miran y se van. Mujer, si puedes tú con Dios hablar, pregúntale si alguna vez te ha dejado de adorar. Y al mar, espejo de mi corazón, las veces que me ha visto llorar la perfidia de tu amor. Te he buscado donde quiera que yo voy y no te puedo hallar. ¿Para qué quiero otros besos si tus labios no me quieren ya besar? Y tú, quién sabe por dónde andarás, quién sabe qué aventura tendrás, qué lejos estás de mí. Te he buscado donde quiera que yo voy y no te puedo hallar. ¿Para qué quiero otros besos si tus labios no me quieren ya besar? Y tú, quién sabe por dónde andarás, quién sabe qué aventura tendrás, qué lejos estás de mí. Thank
Muy
you.
bueno, muy bueno.
Gracias. I hope Mr. Gonzalez.
Me gusta mucho.
Gracias, señor. I hope Mr. Gonzalez approved of that. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Terry.
Terry.
Hi, Mary Lou.
Hi. Thanks for coming.
We'll explain George's outfit later on.
Well, knowing that you're really into the Beach Boys, I thought I'd honor you in this way. Actually, they say what? That you're not supposed to wear white
White.
pants after Halloween?
After
And so
Labor Day.
Oh, Labor. Oh, geez. I blew it then. Okay. The next couple of songs we've worked into a medley. I sometimes do that of songs that I listen to and think, well, those kind of have a similar kind of vibe or chord structure to them. So I really never did get into the blues, and I guess these would be, categorized as blues songs. The first of the two songs, Ain't Nobody's Business, is actually a very old song written by Bessie Smith. And then the second song is a song that you'll probably recognize immediately, but I'll let you discover that when we do it. So I'm going to start off on the first song, Ain't Nobody's Business. And, well, actually, I'll just blow it. The second one is...
Don't tell them.
Okay,
they'll figure it out.
Okay, they'll figure it out, okay. Mary is going to join me on the second song, so... One day we have ham and bacon, and the next day ain't nothing shaking, but it's nobody's business but mine. Me and my old lady fuss and fight. Next minute, yeah, we're all right. Well, it's nobody's business but my own. Well, if I get the notion to get drunk and jump in the ocean, well, it's nobody's business but my own. 'Cause I'm three times 7. That makes 21. So it's nobody's business but my own. If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, oh, bring it to me, bring your sweet lovin', bring it on home to me. Yeah. I know I laughed when you left, but I know I only hurt myself. Oh, bring it to me, bring your sweet lovin', bring it on home to me. Yeah. I'll give you jewelry and money too. That ain't all I do for you. Oh, if you bring it to me, bring your sweet lovin', well, bring it on home to me. Yeah. You know I'll always be your slave till I'm buried in my grave. Oh, honey, bring it to me, bring your sweet lovin', bring it on home to me. Yeah. You know I tried to treat you right, but you stay out day and night. But I'll forgive you, bring it to me, bring your sweet lovin', bring it on home to me. Yeah. If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, oh, bring it to me, bring your sweet lovin', bring it on home to me. Yeah.
Thank you. Nice, George.
Okay.
Didn't you dedicate that at Greenhaven Terrace one time?
Hmm?
Or was it a different song? We've done that at Greenhaven
I rarely
Terrace.
dedicate songs, but maybe I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Greenhaven Terrace, they remember Sam Cooke.
Yes.
And Otis Redding, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to be doing...
Santa Monica Pier is next. So I'll
Okay.
introduce that. So this is the song that I chose, and well, I didn't know it. Of course, George introduced it to me, but it kind of grew on me. It's a little quirky song. It was written and released in 1988. So when I sing it, you'll really know it was 1988 in the 80s because there's some references in here. So I wanted to do this because I went to grad school in Southern California, and my first year of field placement for social work was in Santa Monica. So I worked actually at one of the senior case management places. And so at lunchtime, I'd walk across to the Santa Monica Pier and just stroll there. And so I thought, well, this kind of has some relevance for me. And a few weekends ago, before all the storms hit us, I went to Santa Cruz and was able to just kind of stroll around with one of my dear friends. And so we were walking along the boardwalk, and I hadn't been there since I was a kid, which was a long time ago. But it was just reminiscent. So this is a fun song, and it was actually requested by one of George's clients. So
Donna Aish.
yes.
We did
So-
a house concert at her place about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer. So this goes out to you, Donna.
Oh, Terry
Hey,
Endo.
Terry.
I didn't see what Terry wrote, though. But
Actually
it's
got
fun.
a comment.
Terry.
Yeah, Santa Monica Pier is a song written by East Coast singer-songwriter named Christine Lavin, who she's great. She's written so many beautiful songs over the years, and we have performed this before at our live concerts. And I like to joke that this is a kind of a more upbeat celebration of life kind of song, but that I actually even like it anyway, you know. So this is Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah, and actually, Terry is part of, we saw her in Folk Guitar Club, so we went to watch them perform at Greenhaven Terrace, and I saw that Terry actually plays shaker egg, so she and I are like this.
Yeah.
She does percussion stuff, so this
Yeah,
one's for you, Terry.
It looks so easy, you know, but if you've ever tried to play with a shaker egg, you know, it's kind of, it takes a little practice to get good on it. Ready?
Sure. I've got beach glass and tokens in my pocket, sizing up each other's worth. Neither one will do me any good here. I throw them into the surf. The palm trees all look a little bit like Tina Turner looks from behind. The boys on their skateboards have strategically tousled hair, the Bon Jovi kind. I am a stranger here, strolling down the Santa Monica Pier. Picnic baskets and fishing gear, ice cream cones and souvenirs. There's a fine warm western breeze stirring up the Tina Turner trees. I have dreamed of days like these all of my life. Roller skaters with their headphones on, they sway to the private beat. I drop into the crown and anchor. Time to eat, time to eat. No matter what it is I order, I know there's an avocado hidden on this plate. I don't like them, but I still eat them. I'm not tempting fate, I am a stranger here, strolling down the Santa Monica Pier. Picnic baskets and fishing gear, ice cream cones and souvenirs. Souvenirs, oh there's a fine warm western breeze stirring up the Tina Turner trees. I have dreamed of days like these all of my life. Back home, I hear the stock market's booming, booming. The bears and the bulls say they're taking it all in stride. Out here, they're hot air ballooning. Yeah, they go zooming up into the sky. Yeah, I'm a stranger here, Santa Monica Pier. Fishing gear, souvenirs, get your souvenirs here. Oh, feel that breeze. Oh, shaking the trees, shake it up. Days like these. Look at that beautiful Mexican boy holding tight to his papa's hand. Mira, mira, he cries as he points to the papaya juice stand. Look at that old lady dozing off. I wonder what she's dreaming of. What could be better than this, except for maybe being in love? I am a stranger here, strolling down the Santa Monica Pier. Picnic baskets and fishing gear, ice cream cones, souvenirs. Get your souvenirs here. Oh, now feel that breeze. Come on and shake your tree, shake it up. I have dreamed of days like these all of my life. Yeah, I have dreamed of days like these. Oh, I have dreamed. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was kind of an interesting song because it's kind of like she's walking. You can probably picture that as she's walking along the pier and just talking about what she sees. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I have to find Wine and Roses, Mary, so why don't you say something about it?
So actually, while you're finding that, I just want to put a plug out for just thanking all the sponsors that Danny announced earlier, because with this pandemic, and everyone is isolating, staying at home. They don't get to, have the opportunity to be together. It's so important. Programs like these and some of the shows, the cooking demonstrations. Koichi was doing some fabulous ones, and it just really helps, I think, bring joy into someone's household when they can't go out. So we just really want to thank all the sponsors and all of the donors who help make these things possible. So
Yeah, the revenue that used to come in with the in-person classes, that's all dried up, people. So please, everybody, do what you can to help. Okay, this next song, Wine and Roses, is a singer-songwriter named Heidi Talbot from the British Isles, and it's, well, I'll let you decide. It's kind of a little different song, but Mary does a really good job on it, and I come in occasionally on a high harmony. So the harmonies actually kind of clash in this one, but in a way they're kind of cool, but I'll let you guys decide. Ready?
I see the young ones slowly strolling on their Friday promenade. The sun is low, their faces glowing, hopeful hearts out on display. In their dreams are wine and roses, quiet picnics in the park, holding hands and rubbing noses, softly kissing in the dark. I was much the same in my day, all impatient and unsure, but to love I'd soon surrender, pledge my soul so young and pure. For he gave me wine and roses, quiet picnics in the park, held my hand and we rubbed noses, softly kissing in the dark. I'd never trade our life together, though we had our rocky times. My heart, it rose and fell so often, like the constant shifting tide. It wasn't all just wine and roses, quiet picnics in the park, holding hands and rubbing noses, softly kissing in the dark. I am old and all alone now. My children grown and far away, they used to ask their ma what love is. I never knew just how to say that love is more than wine and roses, quiet picnics in the park, holding hands and rubbing noses, softly kissing in the dark. That love is more than wine and roses, quiet picnics in the park, holding hands and rubbing noses, softly kissing in the dark. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think we're going to go to mood lighting again. The next song is a song, a very beautiful song, and it's, I told you that there's different songs that we do and that I choose and work hard on it, and so this is one of them. It's called I Know You by Heart, and I wanted to do it because for all the people who've lost someone in their life, and since we're going to be talking about Chris Tomine in a little bit, you know, we've lost Chris. I've lost over the past year 3 of my cousins that I grew up with, and so I've known all my life, and one most recently just this past weekend. So it's just a reminder of how precious life is. One of my cousins wrote back, and when I told her, and she said life is precious, and it really is. So I guess for all of you, just really cherish the people in your life, and yeah, so this is for I Know You by Heart, for all the people who have lost someone. Midnights in winter, the glowing fire lights up your face in orange and gold. I see your sweet smile shine through the darkness. Its line is etched in my memory, so I'd know you by heart. Mornings in April, sharing the secrets, we'd walk until the morning was gone. We were like children, laughing for hours. The joy you gave me lives on and on, 'cause I know you by heart. I still hear your voice on warm summer nights, whispering like the wind. Oh, Thank
Beautiful,
you.
Mary. Good job. Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, no more mood lighting, huh? Ted, the less direct light on me, the better, man. Okay, so where are we going next, Mary?
Eye in the sky.
Eye in the sky. Okay. Okay. This may be recognizable to some of you that listened. Hey. Adios, amigo. Who listened to Top 40 Radio. This was kind of a hit, upbeat, kind of rocking hit by Dave Parsons Project, Alan Parsons Project, yeah. But I heard a kind of slower version of it by a singer-songwriter named Jonathan Brooke that's kind of hauntingly beautiful. So Mary agreed to do it. So this is Eye in the Sky. Ready?
Don't think sorry's easily said, and don't try turning tables instead. You've taken lots of chances before, but I'm not gonna give any more. Don't ask me, that's how it goes, 'cause part of me knows what you're thinking. Don't say words you're gonna regret, and don't let the fire rush to your head. I've heard the accusation before, and I ain't gonna take any more. Believe me, the sun in your eyes made some of the lies worth believing.
I am the
Eye in the sky, looking at you. I can read your mind.
I am the
Maker of rules, dealing with fools. I can cheat you blind.
and I don't need to see any more to know that
I can read your mind. I can read your mind. I can read your mind. I can read.
you're mine.
Don't leave false illusions behind. Don't cry, 'cause I ain't changing my mind. Go on, find another fool like before, 'cause I ain't gonna live anymore believing some of the lies while all of the signs are deceiving.
I am the
Eye in the sky, looking at you. I can read your mind.
I am the
Maker of rules, dealing with fools. I can cheat you blind.
and I don't need to see any more to know that
I can read your mind. I can read your mind. I can read your mind. I can read.
you're mine. I am the
Eye in the sky, looking at you.
I can read your mind.
I am the
Maker of rules, dealing with fools. I can cheat you blind.
and I don't need to see anymore to know that
I can read your mind. I can read your mind. I can read your mind. I can read.
you're mine.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you.
job, George.
Thank you. Mary.
Now it's a time for the debut of your song.
Oh gosh. It had to come eventually, huh? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, in the interview, in the beginning, I alluded to the fact that I was going to debut an original song. Okay. Okay. And what you got to realize is that number one, songwriting doesn't come easy to me. Gary Yee in our guitar ensemble writes these beautiful songs, and he's very prolific, and it just seems effortless to him. But for me, writing songs has always been a very tedious and tortuous process. You know, I'm a slave to getting things to rhyme and the meter to be correct and stuff like that. So, but this was written in my mid-20s. So for a little bit of historical context, I'm a Sacramento kid, and Sacramento in the mid-20s was a different place. And I've kind of brought up before that having been, you know, raised here in Sacramento, over the period of my life, I've had the privilege to cross paths with a few notable people, or you know, celebrities in Sacramento. So in the mid-'60s on Channel 3, it was back in the time of like Stan Atkinson and people like that, and they had a weather lady named Betty Vasquez. Okay, you got it, nailed it, huh? Have you heard this song before? I thought I'd only. No, at any rate, yeah. But so I got to know Betty a little bit. It's not what you're thinking. I was a young, immature kid, and she was already a full-grown woman. But I had a summer job at a gas station, and Betty Vasquez would come in. She lived, this was on Broadway near the Tower Theater, and she obviously lived in the neighborhood. So she'd come in styling in a lemon yellow Cadillac, and so I'd put gasoline in her Cadillac, and you know, if you know me, I'd put the nozzle on the very slowest speed so I could talk to her. And it would take some minutes because it was a Cadillac, and so I got to know Betty a little bit, and I am happy to say that she was one of the nicest people I've ever met. Very approachable, down to earth, and in the lyric lines of this song, toward the end, it refers to the pretty lady in the weather report.
I was wondering about that.
You
If
were?
That might have been her.
Oh, yeah. So
About that time.
you thought it might have been Betty
Yeah.
Vasquez. Well, you nailed it. It was her. So, but anyway, imagine an angst-ridden, 20-year-old. And so, this song is not a very formed song and has a lot of cliches in it. Tend to include a lot of those in things that I write, but
And that was in your climbing days, right?
yeah, when I was starting to do rock climbing. I had a flat in a Victorian that I rented down near McKinley Park, and imagine me all alone in the flat writing a song. What do young men write songs about? Breaking up with young women. So this is called Throw It Out the Window. Okay. real cold winter for a city boy like me. Heat up some coffee and turn on the TV. Though I do need someone, it's time to look within, and you gotta throw it out the window and start all over again. So I took down her picture from my bulletin board. I told myself she was lousy in bed, and on top of that she snored. Truth is, I miss her, and it hurts like sin, but you gotta throw it out the window and start all over again. Sometimes I wonder how she came my way at all. First time I saw her smile, I couldn't help but fall. But life is ever changing, like the seasons as they turn. The lessons learned when you get burned will help you the next time around. Long hairs on the pillow, the scent of her perfume, Kleenex and hairpins all around the room. Just sweep up the traces of things that might have been, and you gotta throw it out the window and start all over again. So it's been a long, cold winter. Listen to that wind. Pretty lady on the weather report says a storm is coming in. So batten down the hatches. It's time to sink or swim, and you gotta throw it out the window. Start all over again. Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you. Okay. We mentioned the loss of our friend, Chris Tomine, and it's time in the program to remember Chris. Where to begin? He was a good friend of mine, and we bonded through a mutual experience of loss. There are some photographs that are coming up. That's me and Chris at a gig we did at a restaurant some years back with a guitar ensemble. Chris and I were co-members in the guitar ensemble with Glenn Watanabe, who's here tonight, and Mary. And we have other members that are probably watching too. But so Chris was.
Can you get closer to the mic, please?
Oh, Ted is supposed to tell me stuff
He
like
did
that,
tell
not
you
you.
that. You weren't looking at him.
I listen to Ted. I don't listen to you.
Okay, obviously.
Okay. Ted, should I get closer to the mic? Okay. And so, like I said, Chris was just the most selfless, sophisticated guy that you'll ever know. Very understated and gracious, generous to a fault. And we just really miss him. To show his generosity, as Ted, reminded me, he donated a very expensive baby grand piano to the care center, which is in constant use now. So it's really sad that we lost him. He and I used to do a duet act before Mary and I started performing. And so he loved to work out harmonies, and he loved, in particular, the Everly Brothers song. So we're going to do an Everly Brothers song that was one of Chris's favorites, and I'm going to try to get through this. I get very emotional thinking of Chris, and I still miss him terribly. It's hard for us to even imagine that he's not going to be up there on stage with us. There's a photograph of a guitar ensemble that was taken in Old Sacramento by, I think, Joe Chen, was it?
Joe Chen,
Yeah,
yes.
Joe Chen. And Chris is over on the right, and Mary's there in the hat next to him, and then I'm there with the 12-string guitar off to the side. So he and I were buds, and we're going to miss him very much. There's the photograph that I was alluding to, and interestingly, this outfit is the very same outfit that I was wearing in this photograph. And that photograph was taken in 2008, so that's 13 years ago. So number one, it's a wonder that I still have those clothes around, and number two, that I can actually fit into them. And then there's
Chris
the...
gave you the shirt.
Yeah, Chris actually gave me the shirt, and so that's very significant. I'm going to keep it always, obviously. This is a dinner that we had. Right in the middle is our host and the CEO of ACC, Derek Lamb. He hosted a dinner at the Hong Kong Islander, and he's a foodaholic, and so Chris was just loving it, and I was eating all these strange things that I'd never seen before, and a lot of the dishes had the heads of the animals still attached. I guess that's a Chinese thing, huh? But it was an amazing experience. So good to see those old pictures of Chris. So Mary, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I actually think they're going to show one more picture of something that I submitted for Chris. So Chris was talented in so many ways. He was not only an accomplished musician and singer, he was very accomplished in his professional work, but he was also very creative. And I don't know if you can see the detail in here, but this was taken in 2018 in May. And Chris had he's so humble, but he let the guitar ensemble know, hey, if you're in San Francisco, in Japantown at the mall there, they're going to put up some of my banners. And so Chris designed this. It's it's a samurai holding a selfie stick, holding a hot dog, and you could see the little pagoda back there, reflective of the pagoda out there in Japantown in San Francisco. And so it kind of reminded me of Chris would design these Christmas cards, and every one of them would be kind of a theme like that with the samurai. And he'd also have a little peace symbol, and sometimes he'd have like a little iPhone in there just to draw that in tastefully in there. And so I always looked forward to getting them each year, and he would write a handwritten message. So Chris, he was a proud dad. Two of his sons each had a book signing, and he invited our group to it. And I went to one in Davis and then one in Berkeley. And it was just great to get to know that side of Chris as a dad, not just as the musician. So Chris, I remember being at Chris's I remember being at Chris's house. He had this little music room, and George and Chris would get together and play music. And Chris had these little bongos that he made a long time ago, and he let me borrow them. And they were doing like some songs together, and I just loved to hear them. And one of the things Chris was known for was making George capo up. He'd say, "Hey George, can you capo it?" And which made it a little bit higher.
It was kind of a running joke that, Chris loved to sing harmonies over my singing the melody line, and he'd make me sing in these god-awful keys so he could be on pitch to sing the harmony. And I thought, Chris, it's the other way around. You're supposed to be the one who does the work singing the harmonies. But we always figured it out, and our voices did blend well together.
Yes.
And so people always commented, and so Chris got a lot of satisfaction knowing that our voices blended and we sang these beautiful songs. So we're going to sing one of his favorite Everly Brothers song. This is called "Let It Be Me." We performed it many times, and then Mary was good enough to learn a low harmony for me. So we're going to do this to honor our good friend Chris Domine. Ready?
I bless the day I found you. I want to stay around you, and so I beg you, let it be me. Don't take this heaven from one if you must cling to someone now and forever. Let it be me. Each time we meet, love, I find complete love. Without your sweet love, what would life be? So never leave me lonely. Tell me you love me only, and that you'll always let it be me. Each time we meet, love, I find complete love. Without your sweet love, what would life be? So never leave me lonely. Tell me you love me only, and that you'll always let it be me.
For you, Chris.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. We're coming to the end of our program, so I wanted to pose this little segment of the program in which I relate a story in the context that Chris Tomine asked me to join him on a pilgrimage, a JACL-sponsored pilgrimage to Manzanar. For you who don't know, the Japanese-American internment camp on the east side of the Sierras. And so I accompanied Chris there, and it was a very moving experience. For those of you who have been to Manzanar, they've reconstructed the barracks, and it's essentially a concentration camp. It was a very, very sterile and grim place to be. So looking at the wooden cots with the thin woolen blankets that these poor people had to sleep in the wintertime, and seeing the displays of artifacts that they had made, it was just very moving to me. So that was a very special experience that I got to share with Chris many, many years ago. But later on, I became fascinated by the story of an internee at Manzanar, a guy named Gaiichi Matsumura. These news feeds started to come through about a body being found up in the Sierras by mountain climbers. And so it turns out that toward the end of the war, the authorities allowed the people, the internees at Manzanar, to leave. But a lot of these people essentially had nowhere to go. Their land had been seized, and they were afraid of reprisals and hatred. So a lot of them just stayed at Manzanar. And so a few of them decided to go on a fishing expedition up into the nearby Sierras. Manzanar is at the foot of the east side of the Sierras. And so along with these fishermen, an artist named Gaiichi Matsumura decided to tag along so he could do artwork up in the Sierras. And tragically, way up in this high lake basin, he was caught in a storm and died of exposure. All the rest of the people in the party had gone back to camp, and they noticed he was missing. And when they went out to look for him, they eventually found him. And because it was such a daunting task to take him all the way back, the body all the way back to Manzanar, they decided to inter him in a monument of granite rock. So essentially, they just piled this large pile, this kind of pyramid-shaped, tomb of rocks for Gaiichi. So decades passed, and he was pretty much forgotten. Then a few years ago, some mountaineers approaching Mount Williamson stumbled upon this monument, and they noticed a bleached bone sticking out. And so they notified the authorities down in Bishop, and they immediately knew what was going on, because the story of Gaiichi was well documented, and so the sheriff's department knew about it. And so this was kind of a revelation. Eventually, his bones were evacuated out and returned to his family. But from the, I guess, the 1940s up until almost the present time, Gaiichi lay there in this high glacial lake basin up in the Sierras. And so I was fascinated by this story, and I decided to write a small poem, and I'm going to read that for you as an intro to the next song. So let me get in tune here. So this is a poem that I wrote from the perspective of the spirit of Gaiichi, laying up there all those years. This is called Let Me Rest in Beauty. Icy winds and crystalline skies purify this alpine place. So it is that here I lie. A granite tomb is my embrace. I cannot feel the cold, nor do I sense the days pass by. Time itself is put on hold. All I know is earth and sky. I cannot feel your tears. My bones will here forever lie. Let me rest in beauty, here beneath a cobalt sky. If I could wait here for you, without hope or knowing what to do, watch the light fade away, without fear or knowing what to say, cry the tears from my eyes, leave me here long enough to realize, where is love now? Where is love now? Out here in the dark. If I should hold all my dreams through the night of the way life sometimes seems, if I can't see which way to go, I'll stay lost in silence till I know. Cry the tears from my eyes, leave me here long enough to realize, where is love now? Where is love now? Out here in the dark. Cry the tears from my eyes, leave me here long enough to realize, where is love now? Where is love now? Out here in the dark. Thank you. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much to ACC for allowing us to present this live stream concert to all of you. Thank you so much to Ted Fong and Matt and Danny, our production over here. And thank you to our small but mighty audience that ACC allowed us to invite.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Terry and
coming.
Mary Lou, and we had Glenn here earlier, and Dave and his wife. So, and thank you, George. I
Thank you,
think-
Mary.
Sure, it was,
Yeah. Thank you.
it's a different kind of performance that we put on at Asian Pair. I mean, it's a very, I think we really strive for really sharing from our hearts. And so what you saw was really a lot of
Who we
sharing.
are.
Yeah, who we are.
What you see is what you get.
So
thank you.
And I didn't see Susan here, but I did bring her flowers.
Ted said that Susan was too overcome with emotion to,
Okay.
and so we will give these flowers to
Yes.
Susan. For those of you who
Accept
don't know, Susan Serenas, our good friend and supporter, is going to be retiring soon, and we really are going to miss her, and she's been our main advocate and supporter all these years. So we just love her to death, and we wish she wasn't retiring, but there's a time for everybody, I guess. So,
Yes, so thank you so much.
Love you, Susan.
Susan, yes.
okay.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.